Hello, hello. Welcome to the Urban Forex Live Analysis. Hi, Pineapple. You were the first one to be here to enter the room. Hi, Khalifa. How are you guys doing? We are just at time. I'm feeling good. I'm getting better. Thank you for asking. Hi, Odonaika. Hello, hello. Come join the live session. Welcome. I'm very glad to see you guys here. Hi, Aru. I'm very happy to see you also here. And to all of you that you are entering now, happy Valentine's Day. Today it's a Valentine's Day and a lot of love to you. Um, just for you, let me get started. While you guys are still joining here the live session, let me remind you the live analysis that we do here, we do for educational purpose. We're not doing this for financial advice. Please keep that in mind. I am just here to show you guys how I trade, how I look for my trades based on what I learned from Urban Forex, the Urban Forex courses. And this is how I trade. Those are the trades that we were watching. I'm going to talk about them. We were watching a few trades here on Monday, and the trades they have just performed just as we discussed. So I want to talk about them, and I also want to see how many of you guys you are keeping track of those trades throughout this week. So please put there a fire emoji for everyone who was keeping track of the dollar pairs. I want to see how many of you guys were looking at the dollar pairs. How many of you guys were also able to grab one of the dollars and you were able to make money with it? Hi, John. John is saying hello from Colorado. Hello. Hello. Yeah, I sound better. Yes, a little bit better. Actually, my throat's not the best, but I'm getting better. Hi, good day. Hi, Clark. Great to see you as well. Good. Before we start, and we talk about the trades that we were discussing on Monday, I want to show you something. I think you might realize that we have a new overlay. Before we used to have market beats here, and today we have market countdown. This is because great news. This is because we have just launched the version of Market Countdown for Android and for iPhone. So if you were not able to get access to Market Countdown before, now you can. For you guys that you don't know, the Market Countdown is an app that it's going to tell you the time that market opens according to your time zone, the time that news is released according to your time zone. And the best part is now that the version of the iPhone and Android was released, now we can get also notifications from when news come out and when market opens. That's actually quite interesting. Let me show you on my phone how the phone version actually looks like. Let me share my screen with you so you can see how it looks. So you guys should be able to see my phone here. And wait just a moment. No, this one didn't work. Wait, here. I'm going to show you how it looks like. I think it's looking really good. I think they did a really good job here. So now now you should be able to see it. So here it's a market countdown. And as you guys are going to see, we have New York. We have here like New York open. New York is opened right now. And the next session is going to open in 2 days in 5 hours, which is Sydney. And if you open up here, New York, you guys are going to be able to see these were the news that were released before. This H refers to high impact news. And you also get notified when the news are released on your phone. So this is actually quite interesting to keep track of. Like in case you forgot that there was going to be news, you get the notification of it. And then we have here until until here we have the news. I know actually I have to move it here. We have until this moment here. This is my time now. And after that, we are still going to have business inventories in about 3 hours from now. And then in 1 hour and 5 minutes, London closes. And after that, we are going to have, actually in less than 5 minutes, we're going to have DDP news. And then after that, here, right there, in 2 hours and 55 minutes, New York Stock Exchange is going to close. And New York, after 3 hours, New York is going to close. So yes, that's quite interesting. And then you can see also here, if you click on Sydney, or actually this one's, I cannot click on it. Yes, here it is. It's just a little bit difficult to do this on the phone and to do this on the computer. But for Sydney, you can see also we are going to have DDP news, and this H again stands for high impact news. So I think this was a really interesting feature that they released for with the notifications, with market notifying when market open and when news are released. Let me give you guys the QR code in case you want to check it out. Let me put here. This is for Android and this one is for Apple. The interesting, also another good news that I have to give you is that they are giving a free trial, a 12 months free trial for the first 100, I think it's like 100 or 200 students, I'm not quite sure. For the first 100 that they get the app. So if you're interested about it, just use this QR code to get already your app and to get your free trial to keep track of all of that information based on your time zone. I know sometimes it's a little bit complicated to know, like, New York opens 8 a.m. New York time. Okay, but what is that in my time? And then you have news are going to be released like 30 minutes later or 1 hour later. And you're like, okay, but how much is that in my time? And market countdown, it's really helpful for that. Let me see how many, we have more people here joining. Hi, Anas. How are you doing? Hi, Mohammed. Hello, hello. Greetings from South Africa. Nice. Hello. Okay, let's go straight to the point. Let me put this out. Let me go straight to the point. How many of you guys, let me ask again, how many of you guys were watching the dollars? The dollars, they performed just as we discussed on Monday. If you guys watch the analysis we did on Monday, we were expecting we're going to still have US dollar, just a moment. Sorry, we are going to have US dollar weakness, still US dollar weakness. And we can see when we discuss about it, it was here. It was in this moment where my mouse is. That's when we, like, Monday candle was closing about that time. And we are looking still to get that last attempt of the buyers. And these buyers, those buyers, they came, we can see in all of the dollars, they came there: Aussie US dollar, New Zealand US dollar, pound US dollar, euro US dollar, US dollar yen was actually the other direction. This one has a lot of influence from the yens. And finally, US dollar CAD was also a very interesting one to keep track. Okay, from all of the dollars, we can see that all of them performed. But me personally, I had my favorite one, my favorite ones, and they were pound US dollar and euro US dollar. Let me cover that information here. Why exactly I was watching for pound US dollar and euro US dollar. Even though they all looked good, pound US dollar came a little bit more aggressive. Euro US dollar here in this area also came a little bit more aggressive. From one point, it's like, okay, I can see the sellers, they are actually looking strong. So shouldn't I choose one that the sellers are not coming so strong? And this is actually something quite important to mention here. While this is true, I have to be careful, like, okay, if the sellers are coming so strong, aren't they going to come once again? While this part is true, another positive point of having those sellers they're coming, once I'm able to understand the story, is this is also a better price for me to buy. As long as the other pounds and the other euros, they also tell me they are at a good price for me to buy. I like to know that we're getting a deeper price for me to continue to buy. When I looked all the pounds at this point, let me go here to daily. When I looked at the pounds at this point, this was, well, pound US dollar is right there. And this was the Tuesday. This was on Tuesday. This was on Monday. And this was on Tuesday. And if I look at it, I can see all of the pounds, they were telling me they actually want to get strong. I can see here for pound Aussie, we are at a very good area. By the way, also a pair that we discussed on Monday. I'm going to cover pound Aussie and pound New Zealand as well. So here, pound Aussie was also telling me they want to go for, they want to get strong. Here, pound New Zealand, they also want to get strong. Here, pound Swiss, it also looks like there's a very good area for them to get strong. Pound yen, also the same thing, but I have to like zoom out a little bit to be able to see that. And then pound US dollar was the one that I was actually keeping track. And finally, pound CAD was also at a very good area. So overall, all the pounds, they told me they are going to get strong. Even though the pullback is coming stronger than the other dollars, I can see that pound US dollar is actually a good option. And a similar situation happens with the euros. So the euros, they were around this area. So this was when the Monday candle closed, that was around there. And this was the Tuesday, when Tuesday opened. And I can see here for Euro New Zealand, that's also an interesting area for euros to get stronger. For Euro Aussie, I have to zoom out a little bit for you guys to be able to see it. Here, also an interesting area for Euro to get strong. Same happened here with Euro CAD and Euro Swiss and Euro Yen. So overall, I liked more the Euro US dollar and pound US dollar to buy because I saw from correlation, those ones were telling me they're also going to get strong. Now let me go through the details of it here for the entry. Before I go to the details of the entry, let me see what you guys are saying about the dollars. I see some fires. You guys are putting some fires and some hearts. Hello, Cece. Bless you. Thank you. I was still having trouble timing the move to execute. Okay, so I got this comment here coming from DTP212. He said I was still having trouble timing the move to execute. Okay, so let's discuss about it. And I believe this information is Kylie. It's going to help you also for the next time to time this one better. Let me close it. So let me go here to Euro US dollar, and just for you to have a better idea how to get an entry for this one. Was a little bit hard, was not hard. It was necessary to keep track of correlation to understand the better time to enter this one. Okay, so let me go over here what is happening first on the daily. For the daily, just to cover again the analysis that I did here on Monday, so that you guys are going to be able to understand better what I'm talking about. Downtrend. Usually, if it's a downtrend, I actually want to buy, to sell. I want to go with that direction. But this was not really the case because the story was also telling me this is actually a buy. It's not a sell yet. Still looking to sell, but not, it was not the right moment at the beginning of the week. Why is that? When we had the sellers, they're coming and the sellers finally like, okay, they're showing they're slowing down. It's also a sign the sellers are cashing out. When the sellers cash out, what happened to the buyers? Did they buy? There was a very strong move coming here from the buyers. The sellers tried to sell from there. They failed. Strong move again coming from the buyers. The sellers show that they have given up around this point. Okay, so we're looking this as, okay, this is a buy for now. If this is a buy, I'm looking for this guy as my last guy who started. By the way, if still last guy who started, it's still a topic that it's not very clear how we look at the guy who started and the logic behind it. That's something Naveen explains really with details in the Mastering Price section 2.0. He explained the logic from understanding who's my guy who started. He goes through many details from the charts, also explaining how to identify who's your guy who started and why. Okay, so if I have this one as my guy who started, I want to buy together with him. As the price came very aggressive, we were looking at it thinking, well, it's still buyer's turn. Even though the sellers came very strong like this, it's still buyer's turn. Sellers came very strong. The reaction from there was also quite strong. We even can see volume from there. We got one leg, we got a second leg coming, and that was the moment when I was thinking the buy is going to take it from somewhere around those areas. It's also because they got this price before and it looks like they liked it. They liked those prices. Okay, so let's see what's happening here on the lower time frame. I'm gonna go to the 4 hours because on daily I have done all my research and my analysis. So looking here, the 4 hours, what the information do I have? Here is, just a moment. As we had here on Friday, we had, this was on Monday. We had the sellers there here coming quite aggressive. So if the sellers are coming aggressive, I also want to see around this area, are they going to buy again? For them to buy, I need the sellers to slow down first. As the sellers came quite aggressive like that, the reaction from buyers was okay. But let's see what the sellers are going to do once these buyers came like that. And also considering that they came with some volume. Okay, after they came, the reaction from sellers was so weak, so weak, so weak. That was a great indication the sellers are also giving up. If the sellers came like this, they came like this, and I can see that they're slowing down, that's a good reason for buyers to step in. So now I want to see the details of this part here specifically on a lower time frame. Now going to the 1 hour. And looking those details there on the 1 hour, what do I see here is, okay, this seems to be initially my guy who started. No, I thought I was gonna sneeze, but no. So this one here, it's an area that I definitely have to keep track. Like I really need to be careful with that area. As we might see the sellers coming back again. After that, I see the buyers coming, and the reaction from sellers, it's like, okay, they were aggressive here, not so aggressive here. This is already an indication the sellers are dying. And the buyers are stepping in. After that information, the sellers continue to come, but this time they're coming weaker, much weaker than before. After this miniature guy here, this miniature seller came, got completely reversed, tried, but no success. We have, from the miniature scale, we have buyer's territory. Now the question is, after we got the buyers coming so strong, what are the sellers going to do? Am I expecting to get a deeper price and then it's going to go? Or am I expecting it might hold and it's going to go from there? This is actually what happened here. So from this moment, when I see we are back to buyer's territory from the miniature scale and the sellers are coming, but the sellers are coming struggling, good. Now I just need to find out if they want those prices, are they desperate, or if they're going to come from those prices. So this was the first entry that was available. That was around this area here. It's either there, or even after that. That's fine. Now, after this entry came, on the 4 hours, I have to be really, really careful with this guy. I cannot forget this guy. He came very strong, and I can see we have a lot of volume from there. Because of all of this volume, if I'm able to get an entry around there, and price continues to go in my direction, okay, that's a good, like, that's a very good sign. The buyers are here. But as we start to get really close to those areas, I have to be very careful because most likely, they're going to try again. They are going to cause some trouble along the way. As we started to approach the area, so we can see this seller, he tried to sell from there from a reasonable price. Okay, let's see what he's going to do. He's not interested in those prices. And then I see the buyers coming strong to another reasonable area for the sellers to try again. This time, they didn't do like anything. And if you look the volume of it, it's so, so low. Also a great indication the sellers are dying and the buyers are here. This price was offered and they didn't sell. That's this information, just this information is clearly telling me it's a buy. If it's gonna go from there, if it's gonna go from there, it's a buy. From this moment, as we had the sellers, no reaction coming from the sellers, plus the buyers, okay, we know it's a buy. Question is the big boy going to buy from higher prices again? Are they that desperate? Or are they gonna come for those deep prices? In this case, they did come for the deep prices. I remember I was watching this one here with also the guys from the elite community, and I was like, we are going to have US dollar CPI news coming. This was on Wednesday. We are going to have dollar CPI news coming exactly in the moment when this buyer came like this. This confirms, okay, the buyers are here, but I'm not sure if it's going to hold or they're going to come for a deep price. Let me see. And then CPI news came like that. And they came, let me see, where was it? It was there. They came so strong and with so much volume that it's like, like this is crazy. It's crazy to think, even when they come like that so aggressive, it's crazy to think this is still a buy. Even if they come like this, the higher time frame, the daily, the 4 hours, they are telling me this is a buy. It got completely reversed. And after that, the reaction from the sellers started to get weaker and weaker. So it's like, okay, they tried from there, they cannot do anything. They tried from there again, also cannot do anything. And they just kept showing that they were gone. They are not interested anymore to sell from those prices. So that was the Euro US dollar trade. That was one of them that was available, like two of them that was available throughout the week. We also had there were a lot of elite students watching this trade. I saw that we had a lot of students. Let me show you actually the elite what we had. You're going to see a lot of them talking about New Zealand US dollar buy. I saw also pound US dollar buy. I think I even saw someone talking about Aussie US dollar buy. So it's like all of us, we were watching the dollars this week. That was quite interesting. Before I show you the elite, let me check the messages you guys are writing here again. Hi Ahmad, how you doing? Okay, let's continue here. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to keep track. Let me put this here. Where is it? There. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to make sure also to press the button to get notifications whenever we are releasing here our analysis video or any webinar that Naveen might be doing, because I'm sure they're going to be helpful also for your analysis, as this is actually our goal. Our goal is to help you to improve your journey, to understand better the logic behind price action. So this is our goal here. Let me show you now what we were discussing in the elite community. Just a moment. I need to open here. This is actually our elite community. And I saw that we had many students talking about the dollars this week. There was here, this is one of our students, Gayatri. She's very active. And she talked about, she was selling US dollar yen. And there was a day, I think that was a day before yesterday, she took a buy on Euro US dollar. There was also another student that was watching Euro US dollar. So we had a lot of the dollar pairs that were mentioning throughout the week. At beginning of the week, we had someone talking about New Zealand US dollar. Um, this one was even doing like a very short-term short here, but most of them I see they were more interested to go with US dollar weakness. We have this one, and then we had someone also doing US dollar CAD, also a pair that we discussed on Monday. And it was also quite an interesting one. So you can see this is like a very supportive place. It's a very nice place to just like to talk about the trades you're watching. And if everyone is watching something similar, then you get a help from many different students and from us, from the team, to help you to guide you through your journey and to make your journey better. Okay, just check once again here the messages, and we are going to discuss about one more pair, or actually two more pairs that I was watching also this week. Let me see how many of you guys managed to get like one of these trades that we were watching. Let me see here. Greetings from Malaysia. Hi, hi. New Zealand US dollar, Aussie US dollar performed. Please say a word about them. Yes, they performed quite nicely, just as the other dollars. They performed very good in the direction of US dollar weakness. Um, ah, this is so glad that I was in the same trade for the Euro US dollar. This is he is a student from the elite community, Anas, and quite an active student. I'm glad to see that you're able to catch the trade, Anas. Let me see the rest of the comments. Um, okay. Hi, Praveen. Welcome to the Urban Forex live session. Okay, let me cover now. Let me cover now another two pairs that I was also watching for the week. I don't know if you guys remember. We also discussed about Pound Aussie and Pound New Zealand. I was really expecting those two specifically. We call them sister pairs. That's also something Naveen talks quite a lot in a mastering technical analysis. Sister pairs. This is part of correlation. How how to use correlation in order to improve your read of the market. You saw that I talked here about the dollars, all of the dollars together, that's correlation. I talked about location based on the pound pairs, that's also correlation. And now watching specifically pound Aussie and pound New Zealand as sister pairs, that's also correlation. So correlation, it's like, it's not, it's very hard to trade if you cannot really understand about correlation. And it was like really my breakthrough, my breakthrough when Naveen talked about correlation in mastering technical analysis. He goes through like so much details. He explained how to identify strong currency, how to identify a weak currency, how to identify a neutral one, and then how to trade based on that information. Okay, so let me cover here pound Aussie and pound New Zealand. Let me go over maybe like this, you're able to see. If you remember, what I was looking to do on those two pairs is, well, I was looking to buy them. Um that was my plan. And the reason why I was looking to buy is since we have this uptrend and I can see we got a pullback there, and this pullback finally resolved to the upside. we're able to make a slight higher high. And if price was able to make a slight higher high, I'm expecting we might have a channel coming. A deep pullback came, quite aggressive. A deep pullback came. We can see the same happening here on Pound Aussie. A deep pullback came, quite aggressive. And after it came like this, the reaction from this area, where it's a good SNR area, was also looking good. The reaction here was also looking good. But because I know the seller came strong, I can expect it's not going to be that easy to cross him. It's not going to be that easy to cross him. But there are great chances that there is going to be a reaction from the buyers again from those areas. So let me go here through the details. I'm going to open up Pound New Zealand, as I think it's better to show the details of it. But the same can be applied to Pound Aussie. Okay, so for Pound New Zealand, just open up here the daily. I've read the story from the weekly. And now that I see the story from the weekly, I'm going to go to the daily to check the details. Now going to the daily, I can see, okay, we got those buyers, they're coming, the buyers coming quite strong. And then we got a reaction here from the sellers, but buyers are still here. Buyers are still here and they're still trying. They tried once again to buy from there, no success. They tried again, they got a better price to buy from there and still no success. And the sellers continue to come. So now we have this seller there coming. We have this seller coming, not looking so strong, but I can see that, well, he's coming. He's still like crossing this guy and challenging this guy. He's coming like that. And after he gets to this area where from the weekly, it's a very interesting area. The reaction from there is like, okay, the sellers are coming, but the sellers, they started to slow down. That's a very good sign. If the sellers are coming and slowing down, around an SNR, we can expect buyers are going to come back. The buyers, they do come back. However, I'm still in this seller's territory, still expecting those sellers to try once again. They tried from there, as you can see here, but still no success. They try from deeper prices, but again, no success. Now we are switching again from sellers to buyers. Because of that, we have in this moment, when we switch from sellers to buyers, we are now back to buyers territory. And if price comes to those areas, to those deep prices, perfect. Then I want to buy together with them. As price was coming very aggressive, wait to see if it's going to slow down. It did slow down there around this candle. This is a great moment to check. Can we get a buy around those areas? Let me show you here on the 4 hours. On the 4 hours, the situation that you have. So it's always like this. Weekly, I read the story from the weekly. I understand everything is happening from the weekly. Then I go to the daily. I read the story from the daily. I understand everything there. Then I go to the 4 hours. Now reading here from the 4 hours, we have those sellers, they're coming strong. The sellers coming very strong. And I need to see those sellers first slowing down. They're looking quite aggressive. And I can see from here, okay, it looks like they're slowing down, but well, maybe they're going to try again. They are trying there from deeper prices, but they're also slowing down. So I want to see the details of this here on the lower time frame. As I can see, we have a good location from the daily, we have a good location from the weekly. We have, finally, we have the 4 hours, guys, they are also slowing down. So moving now to the 1 hour to check the details of it. What I see here is this is my guy who started. And after, let me put like this. This is my guy who started. He got a pullback. Actually, he got a pullback here and he failed to make a new low. He got a deeper pullback there and he still failed to make a new low. He's still here. He's still looking quite strong, quite aggressive. He's not done yet, but I can see that he started to die. He is having difficult to make new lows. Buyers continue to come. The buyers are coming, and we can see this reaction from sellers was very weak. This reaction again from sellers was very weak. Finally, we get to him. He cannot do anything. And finally, it looks like we're able to break through. The sellers, they have shown many times here, they cannot do anything from very good areas. This is the moment that we can see the buyers are coming, finally coming back, and the sellers are giving up. So everything we do after that, it needs to be with the thought, this guy, he was able to challenge so much this seller that he started to get scared. He started to get scared. He's not offering so much discount anymore. So everything after that is pointed to the buy is going to perform. Even when this seller here came so aggressive like this, it's still buyer's turn. Those buyers there, they're still going to try. And whenever he gets a discount, he looks aggressive. He's still looking aggressive. He looks aggressive. There was no moment here in between when the buyers they actually slowed down. Even after these sellers here came so strong, yes, they definitely came quite aggressive, but there were still no sign of buyers are slowing down. They are still here. So after this seller came so strong, and again, the buyers reacted, sellers cannot do anything, buyers just continue to go higher. That was the moment to just, okay, it's time to enter. It's time to enter. It's either here, but it's time to enter because the buyers are back. The next area of, sorry, the next area of concern is definitely this one, because from the daily, we can see here that the sellers, they offered a lot of discount from there. So it's still possible that they're going to offer discount again from those areas. But it was a very interesting trade available also throughout the week. Let me know if you guys were able to grab one of the pound pairs, either pound US dollar, pound New Zealand, or pound Aussie. Let me check the comments. Uh, the time, Douglas is saying the time is really challenging, yet your analysis is invaluable. Yes, yes. Nice. Okay, I think everything is clear. I think you guys were able to understand all the analysis that like everything that we are doing here. I just want to ask you, just make sure that you guys apply, like keep track of those pairs that we are watching as we are doing a very thorough analysis here on Monday together with you. And just make sure that you do it safe. It's always the suggestion that we give you, always trade safe. And one more thing I want to tell you before we wrap up here with the live analysis. Next week, we are going to take a break. Next week, there won't be any live analysis. However, I know you're very sad about it. However, we're going to have Naveen also coming. Naveen is going to come next week on Wednesday, and he's going to do a webinar. It's going to be, all I can tell you, it's going to be a webinar on Wednesday. It's going to be a live webinar. And if you want to be part of it, just make sure to check out the description below this video, as you're going to see an opportunity to join it from there. Yeah, makes sense? Perfect. Then I really hope to see you guys there in the webinar with Naveen. And don't forget to check out, let me put here the QR codes again. Don't forget to check out the Market Countdown app for iPhone and for Android, because we are offering a free trial for the first year for the first students that are able to join. So make sure that if you If you want to have this app, now it's your opportunity. Good. Okay, then see you guys. Maybe see you guys in a webinar with Naveen. Otherwise, see you guys throughout the next weeks when we're going to do more analysis. Bye bye.